Welcome to the Boxing Bookie. We are back. It's good to be back. It's good to have everyone up in here today. We got hang on one second. We got the one big card, and that's really it. We'll get into it, but we're going to have plenty for you this week. I'll be able to get you a decent little parlay. Make some money, keep the little streak going. I want to get that out to you guys. Guys, please smash the like button before we get started. Head on over to patreon.com. I'm losing it here, guys. I think the lack of sleep is finally starting to get me. Take a look at this real quick. Head on over carnivalbar.com. It's a meal in your pocket. The world's only high-fat, grass-finished beef bar that replaces a meal while on the move and stores for years. Get your travel, autonomy, and freedom back. That's carnivalbar.com. It's the nutrition of a steak, the convenience of a bar. Use promo code BOXING at checkout. That's carnivalbar.com. Promo code BOXING to save 10% at checkout. All right. Like I said, it's a decent week. We got some fights going on. Take a look at what we got going on this week. It's always a good week to get rich. I dropped the video already. I've dropped 3 videos already, 2 this week, and then I already did Fury with I already did Inoue with Sam Goodman. I just wanted to get that out there for y'all. It was a fight. I saw Top Rank release a promo or something for it, and I was into it, and I wanted to watch Inoue tape. So I watched a bunch of Inoue tape, and then I said, well, already halfway done. Why don't I just watch the Goodman tape and get the video out early? So that video is out early. I got the Usyk video out for y'all. And then I dropped Johnny Fisher and David Allen today. And we're going to get to the rest of these fights. Isaac Lowe and Lee McGregor are next. That's Isaac Lowe and Lee McGregor. I'm going to get to that next. Another good fight, more of an even money fight. I like that a lot. We're definitely going to get into that. Yeah, but it's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week. Let's get into all of it. Let me get to some of these comments. What up, Muscles? Muscles in the house. Rockets here. Muscle wants to know what we're doing this weekend. We're going to get something. Like, it might not be the best paying parlay, but we'll get you something. We'll make some money this week, Rocket. Muscles, we'll make some money. Chuck thinks it goes over. I like the over. I like the over. Let's before we get into that, I'm gonna pull up the card. Fast Car's in the house. Fast Car, my favorite dude. What's good, my man? Not much, Fast Car. How you doing, my dude? How you doing? I'm gonna make some money this weekend, man. We're gonna make some money this weekend. That's not the one I wanted. I like the over. Yeah, I definitely like the over on 10.5. Yeah. All right, so let's take a look at the full card over BoxRec. That's box. Usyk and Fury, Bohachuk and Ishmael Davis, Lapin and Dylan Collin, Nowitzki and Edgar Ramirez, Isaac Lowe and Lee McGregor, Peter McPhail and Reese Edwards. Okay, so we got Peter McPhail, another opponent. Moises Itwama and Dempsey McKean, Johnny Fisher, David Allen. Check for that video. We dropped that already. And Muhammad Akil and Joshua Ocampo. I don't know those dudes. I don't know them. But we got a decent card. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's some good fights. I really like this fight. Isak Lowe and Lee McGregor, I think, is a really good fight. Lappin and Dylan Collins is a fun scrap. Bahachuk and Ishmael Davis. It's a fight. It's a fight. We'll get into all of these, and we'll get making money. I'm going to drop you out a video every single day this week. So it's 3 more videos out this week. All right. Before we get into that, let's so far, what I got is I'm gonna do videos for these 2 fights next, and then we'll get to another one. I don't know. Isak Lowe, Lee McGregor is next, and then Lappin and Collins, because I think that's a really interesting fight. I'm gonna make a video for that fight. These are the 2 fights I'm gonna make videos for. It'll be Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll get something out to you on Friday. And I'm gonna be going live every single day this week. That's every single day this week. Be answering questions, chopping it all up. I should be able to do a mixed parlay with World of Wrestling. Hopefully we get to that this week. Been super busy. Last week was super busy. Now it quiets down. We get this. We get the New Year's Eve show in Japan. And that's basically it for the year. Let me get to some of these. Before that, Fury might get KO'd before that. Haha. I'm going to get into that fight. I'm going to get into Fury, all things Fury and Wilder. Fury and Wilder. Nope, Fury and Usyk in just a minute. I'm going to get into all things Fury and Usyk. I like this idea, Muscle. That's a great idea from Muscle. Let's make this money this weekend. I think that's a terrific idea, Muscles. Let us do that. Fast Car says money line is the way to go to get 10 stack. I'm gonna get into that in just a minute. Let's hope for no upset this weekend. I'm gonna show you how to work this. What do I have a funny feeling that they may have Fury? See, I like the way Muscles think, right? I'm going to read this. Why do I have a funny feeling they may have Fury win to set up a trilogy? I'm going to get into this in just a minute. Rocket says MMA is next week. I heard that Inoue and Goodman not fighting this month. They're fighting in January. January 24th or something like that. Hang on. Yeah, Friday, January 24th. It's not New Year's Eve. It's 24th of January. Usually they'll have the big Japanese card Friday Eve, but it's I gotta start keeping up more with the news. I spent so much time watching the tape doing these videos, and I have my Nets channel. I just don't get into it much. I just don't have a ton of time to stay up to date with all the news. They can't rig Fury to win if he gets knocked out. This is true. This is true. This is true. You guys like Usyk by knockout? I like Usyk on points. My guess is Usyk on points. But let's see how we're going to make some money on this. Y'all ready? Let's get into it. All right. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to just show you all the bets I like. All right. Isn't there? That's not what I'm looking for. Fight props. There it is. Give me just 1 second. Knockdowns. All right. All right, you guys ready? I'm going to get into it now. Y'all ready? These are the bets that I like. Usyk, money line, minus 150. Like that bet. I think Usyk wins the fight. And you can make as many of these or as few of these as you want. I like Usyk money line. I think Usyk wins on a decision. I think the fight looks similar to the first, but I think Usyk's a little more dominant. It is possible for a late round knockout. I don't foresee that. I think Usyk is going to get in and work him. I think Fury's going to be able to survive. Fury has never been knocked out. He's been close to knocked out many times. Many, like too many to mention, really. And every time he survives, so I don't think this will be different. He almost got knocked out by Usyk. He got knocked down by Francis Ngannou. I don't even know how that's possible. That had to be fake and gay and rigged. Wilder knocked him down 4 times in 3 fights, almost knocked him out twice. And Otto Wallin almost stopped him. So, and Steve Cunningham, if we go back all the way years ago, Steve Cunningham back in 2013 nearly knocked him out as well. Before he came back and knocked him out in round 7. Steve Cunningham almost knocked him out. Wilder almost knocked him out. Otto Wallin almost knocked him out. Wilder almost knocked him out. And Usyk, he's nearly been knocked out 5 times, and each time he survived. So we need to give him his credit. I do think the fight goes the distance. No one's been able to stop him, but plenty of people have been close. I don't know who was closer, Usyk or Wilder. I guess Wilder was closer, but they both got real close. So if I like Usyk to win by decision, I have to like over 10.5. This is a great bet. I like this bet. A draw. I like this a lot. Muscles and I were talking about this, and he put it in the chat, and I like the way he thinks. Could this be rigged so that there's a third fight? If so, a draw is possibly on the table. If we get a draw after the first fight was great, and the second fight we get a draw, there's going to be a demand for a third fight. Here's why I like a draw. It pays plus 1,400. So I would put just a small bet on it. Maybe a quarter of what I typically bet because there's an outside chance this hits, but I do think there's an outside chance this hits. $25 bet would pay $375. Think about that. I think draw is absolutely on the table. I think it's going to be a close fight. It's going to be competitive, just like the first fight. Although I thought Fury won the first fight wide, but if it looks like that, they could easily give one more round to Fury and make it a draw. So I think that's absolutely on the table. I think they want a third fight, and here's why. There was an era of heavyweights, a great era of heavyweights, like a resurgence of heavyweights. It was Fury, Wilder, Joshua, Wilder, Fury, Joshua, Wild, Joshua, Fury, right? It was this 3-headed monster of heavyweights. And we now are at the tail end of that era. If Usyk beats Fury, who is the best heavyweight of that era? It's Usyk. The best heavyweight of the Usyk, of the Joshua Wilder Fury era is Alexander Usyk, and that's not even debatable. If Usyk wins, that's it. Usyk retires, that's the end of the story. That era is over. It's done. It's kaput. It's no more. It's done forever. If Fury wins, or if it's a draw, they have to run it back. They have to have a trilogy. If it's a draw, they have to have a trilogy. If it's a rematch, they have to have a trilogy. If it's a draw or a Fury win, they have to have a rematch. Have to. They have to have a rematch. And it just prolongs. It puts one more big money fight, and it draws. You kick the can a little further down the road. You get one more big money fight. One more big money fight. One more big money opportunity. And I think that's on the table. You know, look, this is entertainment. I don't want to say it's rigged or whatever. I'm saying this is entertainment. And if Usyk wins, that is the end of that heavyweight era. There's no more discussion. Fury probably retires. Wilder's done. I don't know what the hell's going on with AJ, and Usyk retires. So we're moved on from that era. If Fury wins, or if it's a draw, if Usyk doesn't win, we'll just put it that way, there's one more fight. There's one more fight to be made. So I think a draw is somewhat likely. It's possible, if not likely, because Usyk won't take an L, so it won't be outraged and bogus and all this extra business. And we get to see it again, and we get to prolong this era for one more fight. Because this next year of heavyweight, it doesn't look special. There's nothing out there. I know there are some heavyweights people like, but it's just they're not the name, the personalities, the intrigue that Usyk, Fury, Wilder, Joshua had. The fight to go, I do think the fight goes the distance. I'm confident with this bet. I like the fight to go the distance. The odds are not bad. $100 bet makes you $60 and 60 cents. I think that's possible. My favorite bet on this that I have, besides the draw, my two favorite bets are the draw and Usyk to win in these rounds. And it pays almost even money. $100 bet's going to make you $87. Usyk to win in rounds 7 through 12 or decision. 7 or 12 or decision. And there's another prop that I like, which is either fighter to be knocked down. I think you get knocked down in this fight. I do. How many? I don't know. But it pays less than minus 200. It's minus 190 right now. So either fighter to be knocked down, Usyk or Fury. I would bet on that. I think that's a good bet. So those are the 6 bets I like. You know, I don't necessarily love the money line, or I have the money line on it. It's not my favorite bet. If you're asking me who wins and how, I like Usyk by decision. So I would take Usyk on the money line. I would take the over. I also love this draw bet at plus 1,400. I think this is sexy. I think this is a sexy little bet. Look, I wouldn't bet a whole lot on it. You don't have to. It's plus 1,400. And to go the distance, I think it definitely goes the distance. I do. I think Fury is so rugged, and like I said, he's been knocked out almost 5 times. I think it goes the distance. Usyk to win in the second half of the fight. If you're going to bet Usyk, you might as well bet this. This is minus 115. This is minus 150. This is a better bet. Usyk to win in the second half of the fight or decision. If you pick Usyk to win, who picks him to win by knockout in the first half of the fight? Almost basically nobody, right? So that's a crazy bet. This is a better bet. And it's netting the same result, because if you pick Usyk to win, you're taking him by either late knockout or by decision. Well, this is late knockout or decision. Either fighter to be knocked down, Usyk and Fury. Either one gets knocked down. I can see that. All right, let's get to some of these chats now, and we'll get into the rest of this card. Hey man, Fury can't get KO'd, but I doubt it if he didn't the first fight, and then he's definitely learned from the first fight and made adjustments. We will see. He could get KO'd. Yeah, he could. And just history tells me he's not gonna, right? Like we went through the history, man. He's been nearly knocked out so many times, and each time he survived and got through it. He survived and got through it. So my guess is if it happened again, he would get in trouble, he would get starched, he would get up, and he would continue. and he'd make his way through the fight. The ref on rope saved him from that. Everything he tried on Wilder didn't work for Usyk. We will see what game plan he has this time. The ref saved him. Yes. I think it was the right call, though. I think he was down, but yes, if he didn't rule the ropes were holding him up, then it's a knockdown. If he rules the ropes are holding him up, it's a knockdown. If he doesn't, Fury's out. You're right, and Usyk probably finishes him. You're probably right about that. But I think the ref got the call right. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree. Plus 175 Usyk. Wait, plus 175 Usyk. Putting one can Usyk to win by stoppage. Is that what's paying plus 175? What's paying plus 175? Okay, Usyk by decision is paying plus 175. Yeah, that's a good bet. That's a real good bet. That's a great bet. Too much money to turn away from not a trilogy. I'm trying to tell you. Remember, yeah, I can promise y'all this. This will not be a part of my lock of the week. It will not. It won't be. No, sir. Yeah, Tyson is younger. For what is yeah, I think Usyk's actually older than that. Let me tell you. I think he's like 39. Usyk's old, man. 37. Okay, he's 37. Yeah. This is the end of the era. Bro, for Usyk to win round 7 to 12, he has to knock him out or win, or the ref has to stop it for that bet to win. Yeah, look, I'm not saying it's impossible for Usyk. Well, let me ask you this, Muscles. If it goes to a decision, do you think it could be a draw? Because I'm also betting for it to be a draw. Why not a lock, Gary? You don't trust your decision? No, I don't trust the judge's decision. I think Usyk wins on points. I'm very confident of that. Robbery, and I've always said, guys, you have to factor in the robbery. You can't go to DraftKings or whatever book you use goes, but my fighter was robbed. Yes, he was. And that's a factor, right? It's not that I don't trust it. I don't trust the judges to make the decision right. You know what I'm saying, Rocket? Like, I think Usyk goes in and wins way more rounds than Fury. I had the first fight like 8-4, and I think I had it 9-3 with a knockdown. Like, I didn't even think it was close. I really didn't think it was that. It was competitive and it was a fun fight, but I didn't think on the cards it was that close. So it's not that I don't trust my decision. I always give you guys what I believe. I don't trust the judges in this particular situation. People think Tyson's been around a while, and yeah, kind of true, but still young in the heavyweights. 36 is old, but it's not really that old for a heavyweight. I mean, it used to be, but heavyweights, they fight longer now, which is weird to me, but they do fight longer because they're big and huge, and they're built like super heavyweights, like crazy big. I'd like it to go to I think it goes the distance. I don't think Usyk gets knocked out. I don't think Fury's good enough to knock him out. Usyk's a great fighter, and Fury just no one's been able to. I give you 5 times he's almost been knocked out, and at no point was he. So I think Fury gets through it, and that's why I think it goes the distance. So Rocket, here, take these bets, Muscles. Bet if that's how you feel, and I agree with you to a degree. Take the over, take the fight to go the distance, and take a draw. Trust me, these judges get paid off, man. So do the rest. This is CJ Ross got paid $5,000 to hand in that scorecard of Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo. That 114 Floyd Mayweather Canelo card that CJ Ross handed in. I don't think CJ Ross ever worked again. She was paid $5,000. They investigated her at that scorecard, and she had a wire from like somewhere like the Philippines or something, like somewhere in Southeast Asia, for $5,000 randomly the night before the fight. She couldn't explain where it comes from, but she didn't have to, right? Because it's not her claim. You're saying I took the money, prove I took the money. That money, that $5,000 wire transfer, while we all may think we know where it comes from, you can't prove it came to throw the fight. Now, she threw what was at that time financially the biggest fight in the history of boxing, Canelo and Floyd, for $5,000. Now, she's only one judge, so ultimately, whatever. She couldn't throw the outcome of the fight, but she did a good job. Let me look this up real quick. CJ Ross BoxRec. I don't think she ever worked again. Yep. Yes, sirree. That was her last fight. Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. The last fight she ever worked. 114. I remember that fight. I watched it I was in San Diego with the wife. I was just married maybe a year at that time, something like that. I had just turned 30. And I was watching the fight. I was in San Diego with my wife. We were watching at this Mexican bar, all Mexican. And I remember I had 10 rounds of 2 for Floyd. And I called my brother after the fight, who was watching. I said, how'd you have it? And he said, how'd you have it? I said, I had 10 rounds of 2. And he's like, well, that was generous. I was like, how did you have it? He's like, 12-0. Like 12-0 Floyd. So I had 12-0. He had 10. I had 10-2. He had 12-0. CJ Ross had 6-6. Dave Moretti, still an absurd 116-112. Dave Moretti is just the worst judge ever. Can we talk? Like, he's the worst. He's the brother of Rich Moretti, who's a high-ranking guy at Top Rank. And he's the worst judge ever. He's the worst judge ever. Ever. Yeah, you would know this more than any of us, bro. Just get paid off, man. Does Fury lose any different this go around? Wait, any rumors on how y'all approaching this fight different? Gator, my boy Gator McCluskey, the talented comedic genius, Gator McCluskey. Here's what I would say. I think the fight looks strikingly similar to the first fight. I think in the first fight, both guys fought the way they wanted to. Both guys implemented what they wanted to implement. It worked better for Usyk than it did Fury. I don't really know what Fury can adjust. I've watched the fight 3 times recently to try to get a better grasp on it. I don't know what he's going to do differently. Like, I thought Fury fought as well as he could. Now, so did Usyk. But Fury wants to keep the fight outside. He's a year older. Fury's not a guy who keeps himself in great shape in between fights. He's a guy that gets fat. He drinks a lot, like whatever. He's not a disciplined guy out in his off time as like Usyk is. So he's going to have a shorter shelf life because he doesn't take care of himself. So I would say that Usyk can replicate the performance from the first fight. I don't know that Fury can. So my instinct, like I said, Usyk wins the first fight. My instinct is that Usyk wins the second fight. And I think he wins similarly, but a little more convincingly. But I think a robbery is on the table, Gator. And like I kind of explained why before, but let me do it again because I know you weren't here. And I know you like the heavyweights. This is the grand finale of that wonderful era that we had. We had Fury, Wilder, AJ. Really, really good era of heavyweights. The best heavyweight of the Fury, Wilder, Joshua era is Usyk, right? If Usyk beats Fury, that's it. It's over. It's time to move on. Usyk retires. Fury retires. Wilder's basically done. AJ is a shell of himself. That era's over. We move on. There's nothing good in the cupboard after that. Like this new era of heavyweights. I'm not saying they suck. They're trash. They're garbage. Dubois is a good fighter. But Dubois is not nearly as good as AJ, who's the worst fighter of this era, of that trifecta, of four-headed monster, however you want to look at it. So that next era of heavyweight isn't that good. They don't have the names, they don't have the personality, they don't have the, the big money fights. The last big money fight in the heavyweight division is this. So once this fight is over, if Usyk wins, that era is over. The only way you can prolong this is if Usyk doesn't lose, meaning there's a draw, or Fury wins. Now, I don't think he's going to win enough rounds, but I think a bogus decision is on the board, Gator. I think there's a very good chance in this bit, just like Lewis Holyfield won. Draw. Why was there a draw? Because you needed to get a rematch. No one watching thinks Holyfield-Lewis 1 was a draw. Maybe Holyfield-Lewis 2, I think that's a reasonable scorecard. The second fight, which Lewis got. But no one in the world thought Lewis Holyfield 1 was a draw. No one thought that. Everyone knows Lewis won every round. But you needed a draw so that you could get it again. And then they did it again 6 months later. I have a feeling that this could be a draw or Usyk wins. So I would bet the over. I would bet the fight to go the distance. And I would bet a draw. On a smaller bet, I would bet a draw. Because I have such a bad feeling about this decision. I really do. CJ was going to get into a lot of problems. That's right. Yeah, because she took $5,000 to throw the fight. The biggest financial fight of all time, she got paid off for $5,000. What did they have on her? If you said you want me to throw Floyd and Canelo, you have to give me $1 million. Not $5,000, $1 million, or I'm not throwing this fight. She was a really respected judge. She had other big fights. We can go through her resume. But she was a top judge. She had judged many, many big fights in Vegas. For $5,000, she threw what was the biggest financial fight in the history of boxing. It's weird to me, man. I would stay away from the money line. I think if you can bet, I would stay away from the money line. I loved Mayweather reality check Canelo fans, but it didn't work. They went back some more. Yeah, Canelo fans are Canelo fans. They're delusional. They're not bad people. But yeah, I was watching that fight at a Mexican bar, and people were asking me who's going to win. I'm like, Floyd's obviously going to win. Floyd's going to school him. But yeah, he did reality check him, but yeah, they became delusional after that. But I'm just saying, when you get these really big fights, Canelo Triple G won, draw. Holyfield Lewis won, draw. Because we need to do it again. And I feel like this is the last big money fight of this heavyweight era. So there's a good chance that they're going to want to do it again. We'll get a draw. Hey, D from PYP Boxing. Usyk by KO, especially if he comes to in heavy and tries to bully Usyk. Usyk by KO. That's on the table. I mean, if I was Usyk, I'd be done. I wouldn't fight anymore. Like, if I'm Usyk, I'm looking at it. I'm 37 years old. My legacy is complete. I'm the greatest cruiserweight ever. And I'm the best heavyweight of this really good era. So I'm the best heavyweight of my era and the greatest cruiserweight of any era. My legacy can't get any higher. It's this or I blow it. I'm just going to walk away now. I have nothing left to prove. I've made enough money to feed Ukraine 10 times over. I'm going to take care of my country. I'm going to go home. I'm going to live like a king and be remembered as a top 20 fighter to ever live. Think about it. The greatest cruiserweight ever and the best heavyweight of his era. He's on a short list, guys. It's hard. It's like Timmy Duncan, right? Like when I say rank Tim Duncan's career, there aren't too many players, including LeBron James, who had a better career than Tim Duncan. Now, you may like them better. You may think Hakeem Olajuwon or these guys were better than Duncan. They didn't have a better career, and that's what I mean about Usyk. There's not too many people in the history of boxing who've had a better career than Alexander Usyk. The Bears, I don't see Usyk getting the stoppage, although it's possible. Just don't like it. See, I would bet against it because Fury's never been stopped. Like, he's been almost stopped 5 times, but he's never actually been stopped. So this guy's got 9 lives. I'm not betting on him to get stopped. Putting 20s on Tyson. Heck, one Tyson got to win. Yeah, I don't mind that. Wouldn't you say Fury changed the Wilder too and dominated? Couldn't that happen here? He did, but Wilder has way more flaws than Usyk. Usyk's only flaw is that he's short armed, right? Like he's got little alligator arms. That's his only flaw. I've always said that. Usyk's only flaw is that he's got alligator arms. You know, he's short arms. That's his only flaw. Wilder is a much more flawed offensively and defensive fighter. Usyk is complete as it gets. Offensively, he's complete. His footwork is amazing. His punch volume is amazing. Like I've always said, Wilder is a good heavyweight. Fury is a good heavyweight. Usyk is a great fighter, meaning if you took Wilder and shrunk him down to a welterweight, he's not that good. If you took Fury and shrunk him down to a featherweight, he's not that good. If you shrunk Usyk down to a junior featherweight, or a junior lightweight, he's Vasyl Lomachenko. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a great fighter. The other guys are great heavyweights. So I want to know what he's going to do fundamentally different. If you go back, Gator, to the first Fury fight, the first Fury Wilder fight, he had Ben Davidson and Freddie Roach in his corner. Remember, Freddie Roach was doing cuts. And Freddie Roach wanted Wilder to get on the inside and try to stop Wilder, right? Stop the threat. The longer you let Wilder hang around, the closer and closer he gets to stopping you, because he's an extremely once-in-a-generation dangerous fighter. So if you can hurt him, which Fury can, stop playing with your food. Let's not win a decision. Go end this fight right now. That was Freddie Roach's mindset. Ben Davidson, and it's an American versus British thing. The American trainer was like, go in there and go kill him. The British fighter was like, well, just stand on the British trainer was just stand on the outside and box him. You don't change anything. You're winning every round. Now, it turned out they were both wrong because it was a draw. But what happened in that 12th round? Wilder nearly stopped Fury. Fury barely beat the count. That was like one split second away, a fraction of a second away from being one of the greatest knockouts in the history of the sport. But like The Undertaker, Fury got up and somehow beat the count and continued and fought well in the rest of that fight when it looked like he was dead. So I actually think that Freddie Roach gave him the right advice. Go in there and try to stop him. End the threat. Wilder is a threat. He can strike at any time. You have to get him out. Don't play with your food. If you can't hurt him, it's a different story. If you can hurt him, and you can, I did mitts with you. I know exactly how hard you hit. Get in there, let your hands go, hurt him, and then finish him. And I agree with that. And then when you watch Sugar Hill took the same mentality. Get in, lean on him, press him, break him down, and stop him. So there was an adjustment made. Gator's right. There was an adjustment made between the first Wilder fight and the second Wilder fight. The issue is Usyk can't win this fight on the outside. I mean, Fury can't win this fight on the outside because he can't keep Usyk off of him for 12 rounds. Usyk is too good and too skilled. His feet and his angles are too good, and his hand speed is too great. He's going to get on the inside. He is getting on the inside. Fury's not going to keep him away for 12 rounds. So once he's on the inside, now Usyk is such a complete fighter. His angles and his footwork is so fantastic. He throws punches from every angle, and he doesn't stop throwing. Usyk wins the fight on the inside. The only chance Fury's really got is to try to stop him, hit him with something big on the outside when he's trying to come in. So, yes, you're right that Fury made adjustments, but there are more adjustments to be made in a fight with Wilder than there are with Usyk. I've watched the fight 3 times in the last couple of days trying to figure out what Fury can do to win. And the only thing he can do is try to keep him on the outside. I don't think he can do that. So I don't know the adjustments he's going to make. But good question. That's a great question. That's a great point. I'm telling you, do not be surprised if Tyson wins. I am not going to be shocked if Tyson gets a bad decision. Wilder got way more KO power than Usyk. Yeah, for sure. And Tyson will get up 4 times. You can't kill this guy. We've got, Wilder knocked him down 4 times, and he got up each time. Like, it's crazy. I like the over. I think this can go in the distance, but the over and the distance is the safest bet. I definitely think the over is a safe bet. We see we're selling them. Put a bag on it. I like the over. I like the fight to go the distance. I'm going to wrap this up real quick. D says Usyk almost had Tyson out last time. He gets stronger as the fight goes on. Wilder faded after a few rounds. Fury seems deflated for the build-up. Very different from Wilder, too. Russell says, hell yeah, Rocket facts, bro. David, he has another major flaw, body shot. Yeah, he doesn't like body shots. That's true. He does not like body shots. He's talking about Fury. Rocket, because he's not in great shape. Like, it's like playing defense in basketball. It's just effort and practice. Just do defensive slides for 5 hours. You'll get good at it. Just take a bunch of body shots, do a bunch of shifts. You can take body shots. They suck and no one likes them. They're the worst. But you can not get stopped over and over again. Rocket, I'll drop a bag on the distance of the over. I just got to pick Gary's brain a little before I place it. Fury hurt him to the body in the first fight, and Dubois actually stopped him. He's talking about Usyk doesn't like it to the body. Dubois is a very borderline shot. It's one of those things, like I used the football analogy. Whatever the ruling on the field was, we're sticking with that. The referee called it low, it's low. If the referee would have called it legal punch, you didn't have enough evidence to overturn it. I wouldn't say that. That was a very borderline punch. World of Wrestling says, I'm done betting UFC. I thought you did go with it. Fast Car Eddie says, I thought you follow. All right. I'm going to wrap this up, y'all. Appreciate everyone's time, thoughts, comments. If you have any last minute comments, thoughts, super chats, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap this up. It is December 17th, 2024, from Texas to the world. Thank you, and God bless. Oh, look at that. Okay, Gators got Fury by. I don't mind that bet. Like, if you want to bet Fury by decision, I don't know if you've looked at the odds or what book you used. You're going to get good odds on it, Gator. And let me address this. I don't think it's a bad bet because I think Fury can get a bad decision. But if you want to, like, Fury line plus 120. Okay. Fury by decision, though, plus 350. If you like, and I don't think it's a bad bet, Gator. You might want to get in on that. All right, y'all. Oh, good. Thank you, D. Appreciate you. All right. December 17th, 2024, from Texas to the world. Thank you, and God bless.